All right, good night, good night, good night. And let me not give no long introduction. Everybody doesn't know. Welcome to Island fans. It's the day after the Premier League season has ended, and as you can see, we are fully. I made sure I went out. I looked a suitable picture for the background, so we could change the background. Made sure I updated the colors to make sure that I turn everything here so that anybody who's watching will know what time it is. Anybody who comes on, who watches the video after, will see that everything is blue because Manchester is indeed blue, right?
Yep, blue, 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 blue.
Sukwa, you're also blue, but it's not that shade of blue.
No, no.
Right now we're celebrating with Manchester City. Who, I mean, look, when you think of it, when you think of it, on the balance to play yesterday, you just
Yeah.
as you were watching the games or you were getting the alerts on your phone,
Mm,
that Coutinho goal felt like something was brewing. That
yeah.
Coutinho goal, that was like, and then Liverpool's game was on a knife edge. So then
Yeah,
it was 1-1. It was 1-1 over there. I'm like, okay,
because they couldn't get the lead at the time, so it was still
right.
kind of hanging
And
on.
I can remember Skill telling me, oh, Salah just came on. So I was like, City 2-0
Yeah,
down. I think with about
yeah,
20 something minutes or so to go.
yeah. That's
And I'm
right.
like, oh boy, this could be trouble. After church, I went by Moy. So
Mm.
after Coutinho scored, I remember getting two bottles. I'm putting them right in front of him because like, yo, Moy, you're battling it, bro. You're
Ah,
battling it. It didn't turn out so. He was
oh,
like when the Kevin who scored first? Sterling assisted the first goal, and he
Yep.
was like, you know,
yeah.
my boy. I'm like, whatever. And I even said, I said nothing about that. Oh, and then Gun, no, who scored the
Is a
second?
sub.
Gundogan
Is a
scored
Rod,
the
sub.
first,
yeah.
Yeah, Rodri scored the second.
and then Rodrigo. Oh yes, that Rodrigo was
Yes,
so
that
well played.
was yes,
And
yo.
then after that, boy, that Kevin. I mean, it had to be
Kevin.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, it had to
Hard
be.
to be Kevin De Bruyne brilliance there. Before we go to more, I want to give you some time to make sure you get your words right. So let's start first. Let's start down. Let's get Akani. Akani saying Watkins cost Liverpool the trophy.
Yo,
I hear some rumblings like that. I heard he had a lot of good chances.
yo. Shaq, you watching that live, right? And you see
Um,
Watkins just throwing, right?
I tell you about them Watkins. Is
Watkins is a
them boy not
fraud,
ready
bro.
yet.
Them man,
Them
if
boys
them
not
even
ready
if
yet
them
at
man from
all.
England, you just no forget that England don't win no World Cup, nothing. The man
Mm.
not ready yet. I feel it's not ready yet. No,
Look, so
England.
let's start at the bottom. Let's
Yeah.
start at the bottom because as much as there were things going on at the top, and much there were things going on at the top. Leeds and Burnley had someone to play for, and Burnley, who have been very good, maybe the last
I
six or
told you,
7 weeks
Shaq.
of the season. You
I
did say that.
told you.
You
I
did say
told you
that.
Burnley going up. I tell you, it's staying up. Yeah, man.
Guys, hold on. Before we go on, before I bring in this person here, I just want to say I'm bringing in a Merryweather fan. I'm bringing in a Merryweather fan.
What up, the man?
Good night, Munchie. It's been a while.
Good night, sir. Good night, panel.
It's been a while. Where have you been?
I've been here celebrating.
Okay. We were just checking up on you. Nice to see you tonight.
Yes, yes, yes. As always.
After you won the trophy, after you stopped sweating.
I mean, after I won the trophy was always mine.
Ah, oh, okay. All right.
Sure.
So we were at the bottom.
So
Go
when
ahead,
you
Moy.
Just to add, not any exuberant thing. I really like the picture that you have up behind the background for us. It's probably better than all the pictures that I have. Really glistens it,
I,
you know.
I did a good job. I did a good job. Props to me. See, I'm not a hater. I can understand. I recognize at this point. I recognize greatness at over there in Manchester City. So
Doing a good
I
job.
can pay homage. I can
We
pay
can make
homage
up,
to them.
we can probably sweeten up the deal for you to, complete Gabriel Jesus.
I'm thinking about you can take off a 5 million or so. So
We
good.
we we continue the talks.
You know, if it was just down to Celly, then the seller would want us to pay 90 just because.
One time. Well, I'll take
All
it.
right, so we at the bottom. We at the bottom, guys. Super, you did say Burnley was going to get going home and Leeds would beat the drop. I didn't see those games. I didn't see the highlights either. But just tell me and what happened there. I mean, because I think Newcastle got a penalty versus Burnley.
Yeah, they got a penalty early in that game, and then I think it was that I think Brentford. No, I think Leeds scored first. Yeah, Leeds scored first.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
that
VAR take back the goal.
yeah,
was
they
that.
took it back.
Y-
VAR take back the goal.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, that's true. Yeah, it was it. Yeah, VAR cancelled that, right? So it was still kind of like, well, I think at that point was Leeds still just just above, just hanging in there, that last that spot before the relegation one. And then I think it was what they equalized. No, sorry, they took the lead, and then Brentford equalized after that. But then it's like, it's a
Yeah.
little back and forth, and then um Newcastle got the second goal. I guess at that point Burnley was trying to push for a win, or maybe try and get a draw, something that would at least try to keep them up. And then um at that point they were going, they were in the relegation spot until Jack Harrison scored the winner for them right at the end for
But
Leeds.
let me ask you. Let me ask everybody a question and let me put it this way: can Burnley come straight back up? Now
Oh,
we know the championship is rough, but
Mhm.
I mean, can they just come straight back up?
If
Because
they
they
keep the
have been in
players
the
that they
Premier
have,
League for a bit.
if they keep the players that they have, I guarantee they come right back up. If they keep the players without selling nobody, they can
Mhm.
come right back up because they have a chemistry together, and probably they might add one or two faces to the squad. But if they don't sell nobody and they keep the squad, Burnley come right back up.
Mhm.
Because the championship is a tough league. As
Yeah,
you
it's
see, I
true.
mean, Norwich make light work of it because Norwich go up and come down and go up and come down. But if not,
Hold up,
let
shot.
me just bring all those teams into it. We have Burnley going down, Norwich and Watford. Out of those three teams, which one would you say in your mind? Because right now, of course, like Celo said, sales and so could happen. But this with the current squad and the mentality of that current team, which one of those three you think could come straight back up,
Burnley for
if
me.
any? Burnley,
I'll
Celo
give,
Burnley
said
for me.
Burnley.
I'll give. Now I give Watford or something. The
Mhm.
Bones,
Wait,
they not have good players. That's
I
the thing.
I
That's what I'm
think
looking at.
Watford has yeah, I think Watford has maybe the best set
Yeah,
of players in terms of
yeah.
technical ability.
Yeah,
But I think they will be
once the players
sold.
get fit though, like, because remember they had a slew of injuries coming towards the end of the campaign. So these players get fit, start back the new season. The,
You know,
it's possible they can come back up.
yeah,
But shot, you have to put it like this way. Go ahead, more.
I agree with everybody saying, but it's kind of tough to look at because there are a lot of players in the likes of Burnley, Watford, and
Hmm.
Norwich that don't want to be playing in the championship. I
I
Yeah,
think
just
of
going to make
that's
that point.
I think of
that's
Corney. I
very true.
mean, Weghorst is iffy from
Hmm.
Burnley. You have Ismaili Star. You have Joe
Mi-
Pedro. You have
Yeah,
Yeah,
McNeil. I don't think I think he deserves
a bit
a
up.
place on a Premier League team.
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, we have to see. I don't know. It's very tough. By just looking at
Mm.
my maybe Watford, that probably have players that would like to stay there at least because
Mm.
they were there before. So I'll just looking at them.
Yeah.
But shot, right? You ever watch the teams like West Ham, Southampton, and stuff buy them players that them they have? Because then in the lower league
Yeah,
now, Southampton and them also go take advantage of them kind of players, then bring them in the squad, help build them squad.
True.
right. I mean, I can remember you were saying the other night, I think it was Saturday you were saying it, that there's some quality down in the championship. I mean, you can't just, I mean, you can look at the championship. Fulham, I don't know, it's a bit, and this is a question I ask myself every year.
Mm.
Why? What does a team need to do to stay in the Premier League? Because we've seen like the likes of Fulham, Norwich, and I think QPR has done it too. Come up to
Mm.
the league, splash cash, and go straight back down. So
Yeah.
it's not money. We know it's not money. So I guess Munchie, you've been quiet all night. What do you think, in your opinion, could or some of the qualities a team needs to have to stay in the league, in the Premier League? That is.
Well, honestly, the number one goal to stay in the Premier League is win games. And you don't win games. You're destined for the drop, right? But then again, um, getting promoted to Premier League as a newly promoted team, first thing the manager has to do is assess the league and set a goal and say, hey, okay, they go to each team and say, okay, we know we're not going to beat City, we know we're not going to beat Liverpool, we know we're not going to beat Chelsea and whatever, things like that. But they set a target, say, teams like um, Brentford, teams like Crystal Palace, and at least get 4 points from them.
Mm.
Beat this team around. Let us beat the team that just came up with us. You know, uh, to me that's
Yeah,
what they have to like aim for.
right. So much you're saying it's not so much of talent, but it's more how they approach the season on a whole.
Yeah, you can't just come up in the Premier League and say, hey, we made Premier League. It is what it is. If we go back down, that's it. No, you want to stay in the Premier League. So
Yeah,
that's the
Munchie, I agree with you, Munchie. I agree
point.
with you. I agree with you, bro.
Because I mean, we looked at, and we can because the relegation is not much to talk about, and we looking at the whole review of the Premier League season. When you look at Brentford, this is their first year in the league, and they made some nice.
Mm-hmm.
They made some nice.
Yeah.
Who else came up this year? No, the other two went back down. Yeah, so it's Watford and
Yeah.
King. Norwich, right? Right. So Brentford, yes, they had a little stutter in the middle, but Brentford was by and large a tough team to beat today. This season.
Yeah, they made a statement by the first game of the season. That's where they get the momentum.
I didn't hear that,
But
Munchie.
I said they made a statement by winning their first game of the season
Right, at home.
versus Belgium.
What's that?
They win their first game versus.
What are you trying to prove, Munchie? We know you know who to beat.
No, help
Stop
me
it,
out.
bro. Stop
Season.
it,
It was
bro. They beat Arsenal in the first game at home, and you're saying that gave them the impetus going forward this season.
of course. Because back
Okay,
to what I said initially, you assess the league and say, like, these are the teams where we can potentially get a 6 points from or 4 points from. And these are the
right.
teams where if we lose, not nothing because it's expected. But they got the ball rolling, you know?
All right. Akani is saying that Fulham going right back down. That's an early season prediction here, and we have some predictions. We can look back on our past predictions for some of us who are on the panel. My guy was for it. Mitrovic doesn't have it, and he continues to say. I saw someone say that if teams try to have the same number of games as points they have, that's likely a good indicator that they will stay up. So for teams coming up, they should aim for 38 points. Anything more is just security. I think that's the threshold. I think the 40-point mark is what they usually set for those
Set
teams
for the team,
as
yeah.
a
That's true.
benchmark for safety.
That's true.
Yep.
But let me ask you guys a question, and this is just coming from I saw a post earlier today, and I don't remember it word for word, but but I'll paraphrase. They were making a point that Liverpool won, Liverpool not won, Liverpool the point stands with 99, 98, and 97. I think if I'm correct. I don't remember the
Yeah.
92,
numbers
92,
clearly.
97, and 99.
92, 97, and 99. Thank you. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
and those numbers, those point tallies have only won them one title.
One
No,
title.
I think
Yeah.
Sir Alex's
Alex
Manchester
Ferguson.
United haven't even done that, but he has 13 titles. So my
Hmm.
He only
question
managed to
now,
get to
guys.
91.
Okay, fine, great, good stuff. Thank you, Deselo. So my question is: has the league gotten soft, or the league has gotten better? Would the league harder back then to win, or Liverpool is just dominant now? Liverpool and City, of course, are just dominant now. Yeah, go ahead, Monchi.
You can answer that question by reading the first question of my name and the panel.
Elaborate some more on that, Monchi.
Back again, what I say. Yeah, Pep just came and turned to league in the Farmers League. He's doing whatever he wants. So it's not merely Liverpool, it's just that Pep just came and say, we just win everything. And whoever can match me. But I mean, win to the top. So back in the Ferguson days where he would just comfortably win one or two games and say, team, that's it. Pep is saying, no, let's push and push until we push to the end. And that's how the biggest point that is coming up from Pep.
Glad. I'm glad to see you still on the pep train after you wanted him out.
I'm I'm always on the fence with Pep.
Oh,
On the fence with Pep. Okay, well then, Sukwa, you answer that question. Do you think that the league was harder to win back then than it is now?
Yeah, I think there were more competitors. Like, it was harder between those. You actually had the top four that was really very close in the competition itself. Squads were there was not like a vast difference really between the top four teams at that time, right? Um, but I just think that now it's, as you can see, um, in the last 5 years, 5 to 6 years, it's really been, well, not 6 years, but at least let's say about 5 years. As soon as Pep
Yeah,
came in, I think Pep came in about 2017. It's been dominated by those two teams up at the top,
yeah.
as opposed to back then, like let's say 15 years ago, if you want to go that far back, right?
I mean,
Where you had,
when you look, okay, go ahead, Suka. Sorry about that.
yeah, like kind of like when you had the Man U's, the Chelsea's, you still had Arsenal in the top four. It was a closer group, right? You had that. It wasn't dominated, like, so maybe Chelsea might have done a back to back, but then they have not they didn't win it again for the next 3 years, right? You probably see Man U win it for about 2 years.
yep.
So it wasn't really dominated by, as you can see, like, by the two teams that are there right now at one and two. All right, so
Right. Okay. Good stuff. So, guys, all in all, I'm thinking that this season was a really good season.
yeah.
You had ups, you had downs, you had teams that you thought that couldn't beat a particular team at a point, and they did. I mean, that happens in most Premier League seasons. But I felt like this season was so unpredictable. I don't know if it's the injuries, and then we had that whole spell where there were a lot of games being postponed because of
Yeah,
COVID,
COVID,
and
yeah.
it just seemed topsy turvy. You wonder if the league if they're going to have to stop the league. Then this season you had the whole Chelsea thing with Roman Abramovich. But the
Hmm.
season is done now, so we're going to start with Cello, and we're going to work our way up just quickly. what are your takeaways from this season? Like, what are you gonna remember most? Like, which team surprised you, or which team disappointed you, or didn't live up to the expectation that you thought that they would have had? Just general thoughts on the league as a whole. On the league as a whole.
No, it's okay. This season, right? Like all the teams, like some teams, like the top teams, had some ups and downs. I like the ups and downs. You understand? The small teams really put on some show. To be honest, the small teams, because certain games that we believe, okay, the big teams is going to just blow with these small teams. The small teams get the win, the unexpected wins. So the Premier League was competitive from top to bottom. Every team was showing a fight, although a few teams get five at times, but every team was showing a fight. Nobody was going down easy. You understand? Nobody was going down easy.
Right. Yeah.
Every team showed a fight. Every team had a fighting spirit. So the lead was very look. If we're talking about the other than Liverpool and Man City, talk about Chelsea go down. All those teams, right, showed fights after fights. Because
Right.
everybody believed at the start of the season Chelsea would be one of the teams fighting for the championship.
You're right.
Because the way
You're
they
right.
started. You
You're
understand?
right.
But they have games that they meet teams that they thought they was going to blow it, and the teams beat them. For instance, Brentford. You understand? So the lead was very competitive. All the teams showed
Competitive.
fight. But
Right.
at the end of the day, the two teams with the most quality come out at the top. That's
You're
just what
right.
it
You're
is.
right. All right. So it's not okay.
Yeah,
Let's pick a team out. Pick a team out. Just say, boy, I enjoyed watching them this season.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I enjoy watching Brentford. To be honest, I
Brentford.
enjoy
Right.
watching Brentford. Maybe straightforward. Because yeah,
Nothing
when
wrong with
Brentford
that.
meet the big team and them, when Brentford meet the big team and them, a lot of them are small team and just come team. Them the good on so easy. They show and fight. All the big team and them play. They show and fight against all the big team and them. But say them are newly
Right.
promoted team.
I can't really say, and I think so. This probably supports Cello's point. Don't you think that a lot of Brentford late success just came from Ericsson? So after he's gone, won't they just struggle?
Yeah, that's a good
Why would
point.
he leave? I mean, they could sign him permanently. That's a possibility, isn't it?
They can, but I think Spurs were were looking at the possibility of resigning him.
Okay. All
Why?
right.
Why?
Munch.
Why not?
Why not go back to Spurs?
Yeah,
I mean, he could,
easy.
but I mean, but Spurs didn't
I don't
want
think
him. Spurs didn't
that
want
would
him
be a
at
good
this
move for
point.
Christian Eriksen at this stage.
Brentford gave him the chance.
Let me answer that question before I say my stuff.
Go ahead, Munch.
System that Spurs is playing, Ericsson won't fit in, and he was struggling that system because if you look at it, they're playing what?
That's true. That's true,
Where
Monchi.
would he, like who would he replace?
No point.
Remember, Monchi, they have a few players on loan, but still, Christian Eriksen going to Spurs right now is not the right move for him at this age right now.
Okay, age is just a
So
number.
the best thing for Christian Eriksen to do, the best thing
But I'm just
for
saying,
Eriksen to do, shot, I just stay Brentford and make them try build a team on here, and then I just go strength by strength, strength by strength. That's the best option.
yeah, that's one thing because there's no way Conte is going to change his system to fit in Christian Eriksen. There's no way. And me personally, I wouldn't do it at all either because, as I say, if Eriksen's supposed to go to Spurs right now, or even the Johnny transfer window, that
Mm.
that's gone. Where would he fit in? He can't play on those wings. He can't play in the midfield, dead center midfield with Højbjerg and Bentancur. He can't do any of those players. He can't play wing back. He can't play in the back. That's what I'm saying. Like Tottenham system right now isn't for Ericsson. There's a playing system where hey,
Yeah, because they don't play a number 10.
players behind him to like feed him. and he just do
Yeah.
whatever he wants. There's no way he is fitting into Spurs system.
Mm.
All right, go ahead, Munchie. Go ahead.
So yeah, my takeaway from the season, I I was sorely disappointed in Leicester City. Uh, to me, they were the biggest flop, big team. I would say top 10 flop
Mm.
because before the season started, they made some remarkable signings, and I'm like, wow, okay, Leicester City is aiming for a European spot finish. I had them to finish like sixth, I think, but
Mm.
I guess it came down to injuries. But even when they didn't have injured players, they were still struggling, still not scoring goals, conceding some goals, and all this stuff. So I think this was my biggest flop this season. Um, I'm really proud to see how Crystal Palace performed. Honestly,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
on the
lie.
veil. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, they to me they were a rejuvenated team. Small team of the season, I would give it to Brentford.
Mm.
As shocked as Marcel said, like when they played these big teams, they weren't anyone over. Like I think City only beat them 1-0 twice or something like that. And they you understand? They got some big points. They got some 3 points into some big teams. They manhandled the smaller teams. They were a very difficult team to beat, and I have to commend them. Um, but then again, the best team. Uh, I was really offended by the caption for the show, and they said Manchester is blue. Manchester is blue. England is blue, not only blue, but sky blue. So next time, Shaq,
No, no,
yes,
Munchie. No, that was that. I had that as a question to ask the panel. That's why I didn't put it in the title.
everybody knows Manchester is blue, but no, England is sky
England is blue.
blue. So yes, again, don't
I
disrespect
was just
Manchester.
waiting to get to when we talk about City.
Okay, so yes, so yeah, those are my takeaways from the season. Honestly, my star player, young, I'm not going to say young, but improved player for the season is my boy Jared Bowen, and I've been saying this throughout the whole season that this guy
Yeah.
literally has what it takes, and he proves it.
He showed his
Level,
quality. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's very energetic, fights, runs. He gives you goals, processes. Like to me, he's the most improved player this season.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, and I think
Go ahead, Munchie. I can't saying just wait till he starts saying Europe is sky blue. That's gonna take a time. That's gonna take some time. As soon as they win one season, he's never going to stop. Yeah, that's exactly how Munchie is. Moi,
Much
you give me your take when we finish up with Sukwa, then we can jump on City.
Yeah, yeah, I have to give huge credit to Crystal Palace, as Monty said. On the Vieira, they have been very good. Vieira came and changed
Yeah.
them a lot this season. They gave a lot of fight. I know. I even remember that I was saying, when City played Crystal Palace, out of every game, I have said that
Mm.
that would even be a tough game. I'm proving so it was a tough one. Huge credit to David Moyes and West Ham still too. David Moyes showing that he's still
Mm.
a very good manager. Might not have gotten back into Europa League as they wanted, but still managed to get a spot in Europe. Still, huge credit to them. Huge credit to Liverpool also to manage to reduce the gap and to keep the fight until the last day of the season. Yeah. Another huge credit to Arsenal. Everybody counted them out for the season. Made it seem like it was a bad season, but it really wasn't. Finishing fifth
Mm.
is a very good finish for them on the Arteta. And yeah, I think that's basically it. Building up some of those teams.
All right. Okay, Sukwa, let's finish off with you.
You talking about just giving a whole overview
Yeah, this
of the
overview.
season? I mean, from day one, I called City as the favorites. That didn't change. That didn't change all the way down, right? They probably had a slow start, all right, fine, but I mean, you could see how great a championship team that they are when it came to those. I mean, look at the manager. You make those that sub with like 25 minutes or like 20 minutes left in a game that you trade in 2-0, and you transform the game and you go on three goals in the space of 12 minutes or so, right? That just underlines that that title was theirs, right? I will go further to say Liverpool give it a great run. I just think that they probably slipped at the just at maybe that time against Tottenham. Probably that game was just a really tough game for them at the time. I think that game probably gave City the edge, right? I'm happy for Leeds that they stayed up. I wanted to stay. I wanted them to stay up. I just think that the firing of what's the manager, the first manager again? What's his name? Um,
Bielsa.
Bielsa. I don't think that merited because he really didn't have his full team. Patrick
Right.
Bamford was really out, for the entire season, right? Um, I was happy that they stayed up because I think they still play a very attractive brand of football. I didn't want for them to go back down into the championship. So I was happy that they stayed up. That's why I gave them the outside edge of staying up, right? Yeah, and I mean, Arteta and Arsenal still had a good run. Conte, I mean, it always came down to uh the two of them. I mean, he's a quality manager. It'll just be very interesting to see how Levy backs him come in the transfer window itself. I think they have a pretty good squad to go forward as well.
All
Chelsea would
right.
have to make their improvements as well, but I think they gave a pretty good account despite the challenges. Um, Having the ownership um, issues that they had, losing Ben Chilwell very early in the season. I mean, these are I think West Ham did very well. Um, Without still having to play on Thursday nights, and still, I mean, their squad is not very big
So, yeah,
when you look at that. You hope that probably they can get some signings on in the summer, at least to expand to expand that team, to give them another good fighting edge going forward for the new season. Um, Leicester, yeah, you'd hope that they want to improve a bit. Um, Vardy's not getting any better with age, because you see he missed most of the season. Even though when he plays, he's very efficient, but you would probably have to look at your Patson Daka and Ilan Nacho going forward, right?
right.
Look for a little more squad depth. I think they need to build at the back though, because I think Soyon True is one that they probably might miss in the season in the transfer window. I mean, so man, I'd say the way the season ended was one of the best finales that we've seen in a little while. Going on 10 years, can you imagine? It's been 10 years since Aguero scored that goal, right? That I think I haven't
Yeah,
seen a
and
season as
look at the
close as
kind of
this
win that they
one.
had yesterday.
Yes, exactly. What a coincidence is that 10 years later you will have a finish like this, right? But
You make
City are
15 as
deserving
if it's
winners.
scripted.
Yeah.
Cello, whenever we unmute your mic, we getting some feedbacks. You may need to go out and come back in again. Right. Right. So yeah, go ahead, Munchie.
Yes, I know before we go and touch on City, but let me just make a point to Super. Well, and
Mm.
the podcast. Um, if you look at it, that Aguero goal and that Gundogan goal, in terms of the game itself,
Mm,
uh, Aguero goal is significant because he literally won us our first Premier League, right?
mm-hmm,
But in that game, we weren't down 2-0,
mm-hmm.
right? We were down 2-1 because we scored first, Zabaleta,
Yeah.
right? Off the post. So, but yesterday now, we were literally down 2-0 with
Mm,
2 minutes to go.
mm.
Not even 2 minutes, because we got equalized in the 75th.
77th minute, I think.
Yeah. So
Mm,
with 13 minutes to go, we were down 2-0. So if you look at it honestly, yesterday's game was more of
come back.
a comeback
Mm,
than the
mm,
Aguero's goal. But Aguero's goal is more significant because that was our first league title.
mm.
But yeah, I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, truth.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna that's a perfect segue. We're gonna jump straight into the City game right now. Well, the battle at the top. Both teams scored five, I can't be saying, but Spurs kept a clean sheet. There's levels to this game. Says Spurs are clear. And Amija say you checking in. Big up yourself, Amija. Thank you for rolling through. Well, like you guys were just commenting, the league finished with a bang because
Yeah.
City was down 2-0. City was down 2-0 heading into the latter stages of the game. But they found a way. I guess this is what
They
this is
did.
what champions do. They find a way when you look and you don't see it doesn't look possible. Moy, give me your feeling as that Coutinho goal went in, and then as that Gundogan third goal went in.
Um, to be honest, watching the game, as I tell you, I'm just doing the whole quick build up right here, dating back to Saturday. I've been telling you all that I was confident City was going to do it, but then just thinking that it's the last day and it's football and anything can happen. That was the whole nervous situation. And I mean, it started from the latter and end up finishing in the way that City is confident and City managed to do it. I did not expect Aston Villa to take a 2-0 lead at least. I, I I don't know, but after the first goal was shocking in itself. Seeing Matic the ball within and seeing Matic score that goal, it was like, whoa, what's going on for the team? And it was like, okay, it's not really anything. City didn't really play anything in the first half. Man, I think Manich only get one shot on the goal. Second half came out. Aston Villa was still trying to do their thing because City realized they would have to press and make sure they win the game. So then City started to get in. Aston Villa started to get balls in behind of City as we expect on the counter attack. Ollie Watkins messed up a few, couple got messed up, outside here and there, outside here and there, and yeah, and then it just on the unfortunate one, Coutinho got the goal and basically stopped Edison. It was a very finish because I even thought he was going far post with that one, and he was just clever to go back to the same way he was on that near post and beat Edison. And that was 2-0. At that time, I don't know. There wasn't any emotion. I mean, there were emotions like what's going on, but my head was blank at that time. I didn't know what to think. I was like, okay, City, let's go do this. Or, City, we're going to lose and let's give up. My emotions were just blank right there, just watching the game. Then Shaq was by me. He came and, as he said, came and bought two water bottles. And, he started to talk. His thing was like, City is going to bottle it. And,
Mm,
I was just there. And then after a while, Pep made his stops. Huge credit to Pep
Oh yeah,
on those
yeah.
subs. It's remarkable. Bringing on
masterclass.
Zinchenko, putting Cancelo on the right side after Cancelo was basically stagnant on that left side, couldn't get anything done for him. Zinchenko
Mm,
came on and did his thing, added drive to it on that left back, more attacking power. Um, the good one substitution to replace Bernardo was exceptional because
mm.
needed that player to get in the box and those unmarked runs. And then that
Yeah,
Sterling
make those really
substitution.
good runs.
Yeah, and that Sterling
Yeah.
substitution for Riyad Mahrez was even superb. Mahrez,
Hmm.
we know Mahrez was our top scorer basically for the
Hmm.
season, but the last two games he really didn't even provide anything for us.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it was just to say, and even credit to big up my boy. After go to the past game, big up my boy Jack Wilshere helped get us back in the situation where we were. To put a little driving force into it. And yeah, and then it was Silky Ilkay. Silky Ilkay came up and done the business once again for Manchester City. I'm still buzzing. I'm still over the moon. I don't even know what it was crazy. It was crazy. Seeing City win that title again. Well done.
All right, Monchi, you know, just go. Tell me some of your feelings yesterday, as you know, towards the end of the goal when the third goal went in, end of the game. Sorry, as that third goal went in, and you realize, okay, you know what, it's gonna happen. I've just basically secured the title with that goal.
Well, I'm gonna say a lot of people not gonna believe, but that's their belief. When that Coutinho goal went in, honestly, I wasn't scared. I wasn't worried, right? Because I said to myself, and me being a City fan for over 10 years now,
You lied up.
we know what it is with City. So when the second goal went in, look at the time, and I told myself, once we get one before the 80th minute, we're gonna win this game. That's what I told myself. So when Coutinho scored, honestly, I was calm. I literally was calm. You understand what I'm saying? I was literally calm. Then I'm like, Pep, you need to bring on some fresh legs, right? But
Hmm.
at the first half, I saw he took off Fernandinho for Zinchenko, and I'm like, okay, I, I approve this up because Cancelo, when he went down the left wing, he just passing the ball on the outside and just keep going for goal kick straight because like nobody's reading this one, right? I'm like nothing was going on for Cancelo on the left side, attacking um, point of view. So immediately, as soon as he went on the right side, we saw yes, that's the Joao Cancelo we all know and love. Zinni came on,
Hmm.
did his thing, those passes, those dribbling, you know, and yeah, as I said, like when he made that sub M1 thing, I'm like, okay, yes, this is it. Then Gungan came on and say, yes, Mr. Whippy. So I was never like to have a heart attack or was worried or anything because I told myself once we score before the 80th minute, we're gonna win this game. So said, so done. Ram, Sterling, across into Gundogan, 2-1. I'm like, yes, okay, this is it. Then I blink two times. Then I see Rodri outside the 18, placing it in the net. I'm saying, oh my. And then Dzeko in the defensive midfield. I'm saying, beautiful. Then, the best midfield in the world, the best midfielder ever played in the Premier League, Kevin De Bruyne, latched onto a loose ball and just, I don't know, like, uh, I believe City players put on the special magnet boots with Kevin De Bruyne that whenever he passes the ball, it just
Stick.
diverts every other opposition player's boots and goes straight to the player that he wants. Because watching Kevin De Bruyne when he plays those passes, these passes never ever get intercepted, not even touched, not even like deflected anything.
Mm.
It just goes straight to the player he wants it. And that ball that he played, that pass, everybody straight to who?
Hmm.
Mr. into the net. And from that moment, I started to scream, jump up. I'm like, yeah. I'm saying, look, if you look, I said to myself, if you look sharp, they're going to get five. But
Oh,
respected and they had good ball management. They said, hey, we don't need to score again. We just need to maintain this lead.
Mm-hmm.
I was really
Okay.
positive when they kept that ball by the corner flag, and I'm like, yeah, this is the champions. This is what it means to be a champion. But I always,
All
as
right.
you guys always,
I guess yesterday we
that's fine.
justified the fact that Kevin De Bruyne. Go ahead, Munchie. Sorry.
That's fine. You guys always curse this. This guy doesn't make substitutions. We play a 90 minutes game, he doesn't make a sub. He make one sub. And I hope he see the importance of making subs in the Premier League. And next season we're gonna have 5 subs and a deeper bench. I feel sorry for the league, honestly. I really feel sorry for the league, honestly, because when you have Mares, Foden, Gabriel Jesus, whoever midfielder we're gonna get on the bench, and you see only 3 of them came on, you say like, yeah, at least Bernardo Silva not coming on. Do I look? Oh, it's 5 substitutions. You see Bernardo Silva warming up. You're like, wow, yeah. Next season, we'll be ready.
Okay. All right, Munchie. Let's get to some comments here. I can't saying also you spend 100 million on a player to have him sit on the bench on the last day of the season when your team needs a goal. Now we have two very important questions here. Um, I'm gonna go through the two questions and then more. I'll let you answer this one. First, if City had lost that game with full winning, would you have sacked Pep? Why or why not? Akani then follows up that question. If City had lost that game and Liverpool won the trophy, would Munchie be on the show tonight? That's I think that's a
No,
pertinent
no,
question as well.
no.
That would have been a pertinent question as well. It's very true, Akani. And Akani, I'll answer that. In my opinion, I don't think he would have been here. That's just me. But boy, go back to this. If City had lost that game with full winning, would you have stuck Pep?
Um, no, I wouldn't have sacked Pep. I think it would just probably put maybe a nail bite into the coffin for whether or not he would look to secure a next to sign a next contract, another contract to stay with City. And I think even probably winning that title, he would even think about it more because you saw all the emotions that Pep showed after we won the title. He was crying. He was so happy. Jumping up and down, all those things. So I thought, that winning just put something. I was like, okay, we have something to look forward to. There's a Haaland coming. We just won the Premier League in dramatic fashion. So yeah, let me try and stay on the next time. And if we lost, I mean, I understand people would cry and say sack Pep, but it's great. It would be crazy because he
You
manages to get us to all these things that City probably haven't even snipped before and being consistent with it. And if you stop Pep, which kind of manager is out there to get?
Mm.
all right.
And the
All
guy,
right.
the guy just won four Premier League titles in the last 5 years. Not so.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be absurd to sack him.
Yeah.
You'll never
If it was
sack a manager
if
that
it
way.
was, if it was up to Monchi, he probably wouldn't have won the league today because he wanted Pep back last year.
No, no.
Munchie, your response.
Sacking Pep, if we had lost the league, nah.
That's
If I
surprising.
if we had lost the league, of course, right?
Pardon me?
Of course, yes. That what you say? Why?
If we had lost the game and Liverpool won the league yesterday, if I'd be on the show tonight, yeah.
Oh. Oh, is that's
You're
the
like,
second
Jack, you
Like,
question?
will be
after
on
Sorry.
the
one,
show.
would
Nobody will hear from
would
you.
you
If Liverpool win, nobody will hear from you. But then until the Premier League start again, they come and tell on live on the show, big man. Remember, me never good now. Yes, they know you. If Liverpool win, I wouldn't hear from you. Because I know how I call upon the show. No, I know how I call upon the show.
If our Island fans group, you wouldn't have made that statement because
How long?
those Island fans
They supposed to put on the
no,
show.
but
They
but
supposed to put on the
okay,
show
but
a couple weeks ago.
right. I
okay.
mean, I don't know. Munchie just went missing, bro, and say he not coming back until yeah, he was supposed to be here on Saturday.
Let me tell y'all the problem with Monchi, right? Y'all know Island fans took a huge, massive international break. more longer than any international break that we saw. And we was
Yeah,
working up our way.
of course,
And
of course.
Munchie thought that, after City, coming on those last games, City had a little up and down. And then we started back Island fans. Munchie thought that we was taking the jam. And he was trying to make it stand. So that's his
Oh,
stand right
oh,
now.
Munchie was salty all this time.
You what?
Munchie was salty all this time.
Yeah, he was. I think he mentioned it in the group though. That's why he said so in the group. He said that he
I mean,
wouldn't
no,
he wouldn't yeah, he said he
I
wouldn't
know
come
he said
until
he
the
wouldn't
last.
come back on the show, right? But I just thought that that's just his personal preference. No,
No, he
Munchie,
was
we didn't have any. Munchie is more. You know what? Let me publicly apologize to you, Munchie. It wasn't by design. It really wasn't by design, and it's my fault that we weren't doing shows as consistently as possible. Because more and so he was ready. Suko was asking me about it, but I just didn't have the time. And then so worked out that things changed, and I was able to fit again. The times in my schedule. It just so happened that it coincided when City had a blip. I think was it when Tottenham beat you?
it's like that. I think so.
Much I apologize, bro. I can't believe this mama saucy all the time.
Yeah, and then
Oh man,
remember it happened like,
Munchie, God's willing.
we started
Sorry to bother you.
I think we started back even more when City end up and lost to Real Madrid because I think that's when me and Munchie did the preview. Then we
Right,
started
okay,
back
yes,
basically like full
yes,
time.
yes, yes. It's true. Munchie, I'm sorry. It was my fault. And God's willing, going forward, we're gonna have consistent shows leading up to the new season where you can get to say all what you want to say and preview how you well, but yeah, you just say whatever is on your mind. But on behalf of Island fans, Munchie, I apologize to you, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
we got some comments here. Yes, Moy. Munchie wanted Pep out for not playing a CDM in the UCL final. So Pep would have gone if it was up to Munchie because he plastic. Oh. The man wears his baby blue heart on his sleeve. Sorry there, Munchie. Um, okay, right. So Munchie, you're saying that Pep would have been out if you had lost the game yesterday?
No, I say no.
Oh, you said no. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, well, let's just touch on this because I think Manchester City they also. I mean, I think what's his name, Edison and what's his name, Allison.
Allison.
They shared
Mm,
the Golden Glove.
mm,
Um, Kevin De Bruyne and Foden they won the Player of the Year and the Young Player of the Year respectively. So
mm.
a lot of City players have been involved in individual awards this year. Um, Selo, your general thought on
I want to ask you
KDB
a
as player of
question.
the
I
season?
want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a
You
question,
want to
sir.
ask me? Okay,
Sell
go
out,
Yeah,
sell
ahead.
out.
I put that
Deserve it.
question towards everybody. I want to hear everybody opinion. I
Yeah,
want
sure,
everybody answer. And I
sure. Go
believe
ahead,
Phil
bro.
Foden deserve that trophy there.
No, no, sell. He
No,
doesn't deserve it.
no.
Okay, hold on.
But
Let me put a caveat here. Let me put the caveat. I wouldn't say he doesn't deserve it because he's played well enough to get it.
Not compare.
But I would say that there are better players there that I thought could have won it or should have won it.
Yeah.
look,
More than Foden.
the
So let me
reason
say,
why I'm
okay,
saying that,
I'm getting technical, but saying that he don't deserve it mean that he just basically was a flop this season, and that's what he wasn't that.
Mm,
listen to me say,
Mhm.
Phil Foden deserve that trophy. They feel so on deserve that trophy because Man City they on top. You only get that trophy because
mm,
Man City they on top. Because if you want,
mm.
if I talk about stats, Saka better stats than he, and Mason Mount have
And
better
Saka,
stats
Mason
than.
Mount.
You
Yeah.
understand? You only get that trophy there because City on top. And then if you top do them 2 minutes there. Give the man that deserve the trophy. And top force the trophy for man that deserve the trophy.
Okay,
even Trent is still in that running.
Let me
Trent had a
tell you.
brilliant season.
okay. Wait.
Right, Munchie?
Okay. So they are
Well,
opinion for everybody.
listen to
My
him.
opinion, right? I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, right? But if you're gonna bring your argument based on stats, well, you lost because
How?
stats doesn't prove everything, and we can see it in the 2010 Ballon d'Or. Wesley Snyder won
Well, this Snyder
everything
should
that
have won
he,
every. Yep. Mm-hmm.
and who won Ballon d'Or?
Messi.
Messi.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? To me, okay, if you guys looking at okay, Mason Mount, Trent, Saka, well, they have better stats than Foden. But look at these three players. Out of those two players and Phil Foden, which of them has been the most consistent this season? Like every
Saka
game.
been more consistent than him. Saka been more
Stop that.
consistent than Phil Foden.
Okay. What if I okay? Where okay? I know if you watch City, but where in which world? Honestly, I've never seen Phil Foden played three bad games this season.
What
And
mean
And are
by the
you
team
saying
play
that
three
you
bad
seen
games this season?
and are you saying that you seen Saka done that?
not and I'm saying he played bad game this season, but in games where he didn't show up in most games, like he's been nullified.
Saka.
Same thing with Mount, same thing with Trent. Most of Trent assists, he got them like two in one game and this and that. Like he got 12 assists, yes. But are those 12 assists consistent? How much of those 12 assists are winning
No,
assists
but
per
no,
season?
but you see, you're just looking at assists. You have to look at the
No,
level of play of
stats.
the.
Hey, you guys are talking about the stats. That's why I told Marcelo. If he's bringing the stats, he's lost. But you guys looking at stats. Just because he has 12 assists and two goals, he has 14 goal contribution this season, and my boy Phil Foden only has 9 goals and couple assists. You guys are saying, oh, Trent and Mount has better stats than him. He doesn't deserve it. But as I said, if you look at Phil Foden, he literally held his own in the league this season. Like, and come on, you look at the quality of Phil Foden and what he produced this season and even over the past season, and you're looking at can Mount do this? Can Saka do this? I'm
Man,
going there.
me know you
Yeah,
are the crazy, you know.
yo,
Opinion.
Me know you crazy, you know. Cause you chat
Jump,
to me this now.
can
hello?
I jump?
What the
Can I
joke
jump
itself?
in here?
Yeah, go ahead, Moy.
I hear we talking about stats, right? And if it's stats, Foden has lost it. Because if we say nine goals and something amount of assists, I even said we talking about assists, Trent has beaten him. From a right back perspective. It Let's be looking at a right back perspective. Right backs don't normally get these type of stats. And I'm looking at these young players being exceptional for their teams. And I understand Foden is there, but at times he gets this over hype, as you would say, that's English players, that maybe the little things that he has done, and because he's playing in Manchester City, that he would add the extra hype to him. I'm not belittling, Foden.
Same
He's my
thing.
player. I love Foden, but I didn't think he was the one I would have given it to him. Because I was looking at the likes of Trent, that is still young, that he's basically was the one that helped Liverpool to get a number of assists to get these type of goals. I mean, he still be getting these clean sheets from playing the right back, even if they say he can't defend, but he's somewhat good to it. And then he has been Saka that
Yeah.
still has been exceptional for Arsenal. That guided Arsenal to what, a fifth place finish, with being a what, he was your most has the most got goal contributions for y'all, and even Mason
Yeah.
Mount for Chelsea. So I'm saying Foden is not really the outstanding player for City.
Mhm.
I
Even
mean,
self.
I must say though, sorry there, Moy.
Uh huh.
I like Monchi's exuberance though in trying to defend Foden. But I really saw that Monchi was reaching in trying to justify Foden winning
The
that
what?
trophy over
Mm.
over those other names that were mentioned here.
No, no, no. And okay, as I'm saying, I'm not defending that he should have won it, but uh, he won it, and you you can't disagree that he didn't deserve it. Like he didn't to be up there with it because if you look at it, in those four
Right. I that.
the outright English
Mhm.
players, there were three players that were fighting against him. They are English players too. That's one. And I think the only player that's younger than him is Saka. 'Cause I think Mount is 23 and Trent is 22 or 23. Foden is younger than those two. And I think it's Saka is the only one younger. But I don't know the young player criteria. I think it's 23 years and younger or something.
Yeah.
Foden is the second youngest out of the crop of four. So if you're really looking at young players and whatever, it's between Saka and Foden if you're looking at the same age range, age bracket, because Mount and Trent is older than Foden. But as I'm
Right.
saying, I'm not defending that
Mhm.
he deserved to have won it. But if he won it, and it's not to say like he's not supposed to be in the frame of winning it. He is.
Right.
Come on.
Right. That's the point I was making. I think his name deserved to be mentioned. I don't think that he should have won it. I think that Munchie is saying
Mm-hmm.
the same thing I'm saying there. Um, Pemberton is saying Kulisevsky. I think that's how you pronounce his
Mm-hmm.
name. He's a
Kulusevski, yeah.
star signing. I think I would agree.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
I think
he
he
hit
and
the
Luis
ground
Diaz.
running.
Yeah.
He hit the
Yeah,
ground running. Imagine
yeah.
people want to
He
see
and Diaz.
True instead of Kulisevsky. So, Cello, who would you have given? Because Salah had double digits in both goals and assists. Yeah, that's, we were talking about young players there. And then
Mm.
yeah, but I think that I don't know, Salah could have gone, but Salah haven't been good since January. To be fair,
Yeah, after he came back
so
from the
I
AFCON,
understand why
he
KDB has it.
fell really tough.
Right. Adama Traore went to Barcelona and did the same move a million times in every game. He is so one-dimensional and didn't win Player of the Year. Like, that is a continuation. Like some people only watch Prem Ball at Akani. Right. Okay. So I mean that's that, guys. As going forward,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you what I was thinking about today is that as we go forward throughout because we have like what maybe about 8 or 10 or 12 weeks or so before the season kicks
Yeah.
off again. We have transfers and so to talk about preseason going to come up.
Mm-hmm.
But I want us over these next maybe 2 weeks or so just dissect maybe our own individual teams on just on a given night. If we have a city night, we do a city night going forward. We do what take away from this season, what you didn't like. Just on the whole, it doesn't have to be just only City fans, but we can be objective. So we're gonna do that going forward, and then we'll just have good discussions about the Premier League on the whole. Even the teams who've come up now, who come up now with Mitrovic. Who would you like your team to
Mm-hmm.
sign just before the busy transfer period starts? So that's my plan going forward throughout the summer. Anybody have anything else to say before we close? No, we are good.
No.
Stella,
Yeah.
you get to me from your apology, but I still do think that Arteta deserves some kind of praise from you, bro. If I'm just being
Bro,
honest, because he had a stellar season.
before you cut, they may watch a man a Jamaica man top on Arsenal.
FT,
Yeah. And the same thing that me say yeah, are the same thing the man say. The same thing the man say. By the way, I tell him wait Arteta for. I tell him wait Arteta for. Eh? The Arteta make Arsenal finish fifth, all jump up and celebrate. Oh, Arsenal finish fifth. I think Arsenal did well enough. Big man had champion League football in our hand. And I show him we. I show him we. Tottenham 4 points behind now we. With about what 3 games to play. And what I do? Man, the man top jump up for choppiness. Because that they choppiness chop. Your back choppiness. Arsenal finishing fifth is shit. Sharp. It's shit. Sharp. Top back choppiness. I have 4 point lead with 3 games to go. And what you have finished fifth. And I say, oh, I think Arsenal did good.
Okay,
So
okay.
Cello,
good shot.
And I make
For the kind of club that Arsenal finishing fifth is not good enough for the kind of team that Arsenal be. That is disappointment.
so
Okay, Cello,
Cello,
let me
You
ask
don't
you, right?
talk.
Okay,
players.
okay, go ahead, Manji.
Yeah,
eh,
yeah, yeah. So, Cello, if you really look at it as a Arsenal of, I want to say football fan, as an Arsenal fan, like a literally Arsenal fan. If I was an Arsenal fan, I would take the Europa League over the Champions League. You know why? First being first. To be in the Champions League for next season, you're gonna face some real top dogs, right? And to face some real top dogs and to do good, you're gonna need a lot of quality. And to get a lot of quality, you gotta spend a lot of money.
Silence,
So
yeah.
you believe, oh, we make Champions League with the top four. You go into the group of death. You finish last in the group of death. You get knocked out Champions League in the group stage. You would feel better than if you go into the Europa League, you meet some what's it? I would say mediocre, but some less less challenging team, and you make it to at least the semi-finals. Where by that time it's already the January transfer window per se, and you can actually bolster your squad to make a final push in the Europa League and win the Europa League. You won't look at it that way because honestly, there's no way
Monchi,
Arsenal can make Champions League next season and actually challenge for the Champions
Monchi,
League.
don't chat no
There's no
stupidness to me, no Monchi. Here, let me tell you something, right, Monchi.
no
Arsenal have money, right, for buy anybody, right, Monchi. Monchi, Arsenal have money for buy anybody. Anybody Arsenal want buy, Arsenal can buy, because Skunk in them have money. Yeah, they have money. So they come and tell me about choppiness. If they play champion league, they meet top dogs, they meet this.
who would want which
Arsenal have
top
money.
would
If
say,
them make
oh,
it in the champ, listen what me say, partner. Listen what me say. Partner, I just started what football yesterday. I come and chat. Listen to what me say. Arsenal have money. Yeah. If Arsenal make champion league, they have enough money for buy anybody that they want for play for Arsenal. Yeah, me tell you. So no come and tell me about no top this and no top that. Like Arsenal and no top team partner. They tell me no chopping this partner. What you tell me, partner? Partner, Arsenal have money. Listen to me.
one that can buy anybody with. Ah, the one by Harry Kane, but what happened?
But
He the one.
Arsenal have money.
It's not about having money. It's about who
Yeah.
wants to come to the club. Because all the money you want, if a top player want to come to the club, all the money that you want to spend for he, he's not gonna come. That's my point.
And see,
So
this
you
is why
say
I had the
about
problem be. This is
top
why I
player.
had the problem be. I think about top player alone, man with big name alone. Partner, a local man that play in a small league that and come and bring quality to your team to partner. I tell me chopping this boy. I come and tell me about top players. Everything is about top players, dog. Sometimes you bring in a man and he come in
Yeah,
and you want to make a name for yourself.
you need to
Boy,
understand.
partner, me no hear partner here. Listen to me. No shot.
Okay,
Arsenal,
okay. All right. Okay, hold on.
Monchi, you get my
Let's go with more.
talk.
Let's go with more. And
Monchi,
then
you get
Super want to make a point too.
Mm.
So let's go
Monchi,
more, make a point, and then we go
yesterday
to
what
Cello. And then we go
partner.
to Super.
And
Cello,
yesterday what
easy,
partner.
easy.
And yesterday what football partner. Well, Arsenal by unwin them
that
and
was
so
a few years.
Oh my, sorry, I took him out. Sorry, there, Cello. That's my fault.
well, Arsenal
Sorry.
by Ashley Cole and them, call them name, Rez, all them. Van
But
Persie them, they ever be a big name. They ever
Okay,
be a big name.
Marcel, hold on there,
Yes, everybody that talk about football after
you understand?
2010 can't tell me about no football partner.
Football evolved.
Okay,
And
hold on. All right, Moy.
football
I
has
have,
evolved. You
I
Munchie,
need
have a,
hold on there, hold
top
on.
players to win top
Munchie,
competitions.
I'm gonna be with you to the partner.
No,
Wait,
no, no. But he just
wait.
mentality of saying, hey, we
Yeah, but
don't
we
need
gotta move the discussion along, bro. I understand. I'm gonna give you some time to get back. But more have something to say, Super have something to say, and we running out of time. We over time actually. Moy, go ahead.
I have a question directed to Cello first, and I have something to say about what you said. Cello,
No,
this
Moy,
season,
wait, Moy. Say what you have to say first, and then direct it, and then ask Stella the question.
okay. My question to Cello is that where did you put Arsenal finishing this season? That's it. And then, so what you're saying? So then, if that's the case, so you're saying that there's local players. Why are you screaming down the likes of Eddie Nketiah? Why don't you give him a chance in that case? Because you're the one that just mentioned that there's local players and that they don't need to mention top players. And in order to, if you're going champions, you're going to need top players because that's where City come from. That is where United have been. You need these top players to help you win the league. Everybody talking about youth academy, this top players is needed. And you have these local players, Eddie Nketiah, all right, going back to him as ever because you have been crying him down because he has been getting the job done. And Eddie Nketiah is there. You don't want to give him. So if you don't want Eddie Nketiah, which else big player are you going to get right there that wants to go to Arsenal at the moment?
Brother,
Good
listen what
question.
me say. Listen what me
I
say.
know.
Eddie
Talk about the
Nketiah,
football
listen to me.
years
There
before.
are man, there are man that are upgrade to Nketiah. They never be no big name. There are simple man that are upgrade to Nketiah and them partner. And top tell me chopping this more. There are
But
simple man out in the
okay,
league. Listen, there are simple man
uh,
out in the league that are that are way better player than Nketiah and them technically gifted. That are way better than them. I upgrade to them man. That they just look for
I
the
think so.
opportunity. They just look for the opportunity. And when they get the opportunity, they just take the opportunity more. Hear me tell you, partner,
So
when
Okay.
me say, listen, go ahead, shot. What you say?
I want
Let's say it go on.
Suko to get some questions. Go ahead, Suko.
Yeah, okay. So so Shaq is for you and Chell, right? Looking at it, okay. The battle for the fourth spot was really it's only
You
because
know, Suko bring me in. No, we doesn't listen yet tonight. No man,
yes,
no man. Tell him
relax.
first. Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying, right? Honestly, when you look at the competition between your team, Arsenal, and Spurs, did you realistically think that you would have finished over Spurs this season? Taking consideration
Um.
everything, as a top coach, first of all, Conte, Amanda has won the Premier League already. You're going up against a young coach in Arteta, right? He has a young squad. They went out, they got Kulusevski in January, and they have guys like Lucas Moura. You have Bergwijn. These,
Bergwijn, yeah.
yeah, you have that, and they got Christian Romero. That's a good centre back, and then you have a World Cup winning goalkeeper in Hugo Lloris. So let's look at everything in a picture. Did you really see your would have finished over Spurs this season based on
Yeah,
especially the January
yeah,
transfer window?
yeah. I did.
me
Yeah,
too.
know I
Honestly,
think
I
about
think
Spurs.
Hmm.
Yeah, know I think about Spurs. Spurs. I
No,
think
you're
it
taking the biasness
honestly.
out of it. That's what
Honestly,
I'm.
no, no, and this
Mm,
is not just
so.
about bias. I think barring Son and Kane, which is the
hmm.
two world class players that Tottenham have,
Right.
I think the team is balanced. I think our team is balanced. I think if we didn't lose Thomas Partey, we would have finished
Hmm.
above Spurs. That's my humble opinion.
Okay.
That's why I don't think it's much of an
Hmm.
Arteta problem. I think
Hmm.
he was dealt a tough hand coming into the back end of the season without Thomas Partey.
I agree with you,
Okay.
Chad. Especially those three losses in a row
So,
against those that you were expected to win.
some
Could have
Arsenal man and
literally
them.
wrapped up third spot. Literally wrapped up third spot. But back to
Hear
my
me
point,
say,
what I'm saying,
right?
Hmm.
I think the Spurs team, if Spurs and Arsenal are supposed to go into Champions League next season with their current squad, with no additions, I think the Spurs team would put up a greater fight than this Arsenal team. That's just me personally. So that's why I made my point of saying Arsenal is better off in the Europa League, where they will actually have a chance than the Champions League than to get embarrassed. Because as soon
And you
as
see,
Arsenal was in the Champions League spot, you see the meme, Bayern Munich licking their faces, Bayern Munich saying welcome Arsenal. You understand?
you see, Stella, don't look at it this way. But I still look at it, Munchie, from a perspective that this is a process. And you made the point of the amount of money you would need to compete in the Champions League. I told Cello, I think on Saturday on the last show, it's not FIFA career mode. You can't expect Arsenal, yes, Cronky have hold to the money. You can't expect them to go out and spend 300 million. That's not realistic. So then over 2 years now, 4 windows, then you can now expect them to have that money. So I'm looking at it this way. I'm fine. I'm comfortable with Europa League this season. Then we build upon the core that we have now. We build upon the core that we have now to then proper, because winning the Europa League is a must. I'm telling you guys from now going into the next season because of what we were able to achieve this year and what I think that we should be able to do in the champion in the transfer window this year. I'm thinking that that should be our goal. That should be our minimum goal to win that Europa League. Then now we have another summer window to build upon what we had already and what we built upon this summer and what we're going to add again in that summer window before we enter the Champions League. And that's when I think that we will be Champions League ready. No, if that don't pan out the way I'm thinking it, and and I'm questioning the tactics of Mikel Arteta, and that is when I will start to say Arteta out. That's when he will start to raise questions for me. But at this point, tactically, I don't see a deficiency in Mikel Arteta for me to put this blame on him as if he has let us down, especially when you have players coming out of the dressing room, respected players coming out of the dressing room that game versus Newcastle, saying that certain players are not ready and this and that has happened. They didn't follow what the manager said. I am saying that that is a clear indication of 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 of, of of Mikel Arteta's role in this whole Arsenal setup and
Mhm.
in the process by and large.
But Shaq,
And
do y'all think that to go into the Europa League now that you have the squad depth, how you gonna approach that now, knowing that you have to go
Oh,
into the Europa League and you have the squad depth to go and to compete all the way up to May
oh
of
yeah.
next year?
I mean, because I think I was telling Jalil this, and we were talking about it yesterday on Twitter there. And I said, I'm expecting a much rotated team up until maybe like round the 16 in the Europa League. Because that's when basically it gets real serious. You're going to play some teams that you can't pronounce the name. I mean, it is what it is. You can't pronounce the name. So I'm thinking we're going to rotate the squad with those players that we haven't that has been on the fringes. And then when it gets to the business end of it, that's when you play the first teamers. So I think we do. I think we do have the depth. Yes, sir, I'm listening.
Sure.
Mm.
Yeah, Monchi say, but if Arsenal team or Tottenham team the Champions League, he believe Tottenham team will give a move.
Better fight.
You know, Monchi,
It's still picking up or is it me?
how
It's
it
yeah, you
yourself.
Hello.
Yeah,
is
Stella, we can't hear you, Stella.
some
We're hearing about maybe every 4 words.
you go to
Yeah, Stella, we're
Tottenham
not hearing you,
team,
bro.
right?
take him out and bring him back here.
Yeah, I mean we grossly overtime. So we gonna pick up
Yeah.
that on Thursday. You can pick up that on Thursday. So every
Yes,
time Stella comes, Stella walk
I'm
us
ready.
we go hard.
I'm ready for him.
Every time.
Because he
Uh,
needs he needs to purge his conscience and just be realistic. He needs
I
to be
mean,
real. Because look at it now, I'm shocked. What I'm saying, Lacazette, who's you guys' main man, I think he's on the verge of leaving.
yeah,
Like,
she got the
and
contract this.
Arsenal need to find a top striker. You understand what I'm saying? So you guys really need to spend money. That's what I'm trying to tell Marcelo. He's telling me he's bringing back the Ashley Cole and the Armies. I'm saying back in those days, football has evolved. It's different now. In the Fergie days, the Wenger days, they could have
Mhm.
used academy players and such. Right now, it's money
Yeah,
talk.
everything about
You need
money.
quality players in every single position. You need a squad depth. You need a player when you sub him, it's more like
Hmm.
a
You bring
like.
a like for like.
Yes, if you want to be competing in all these
Monchi,
competitions, you understand what I'm saying? So there's no
Monchi.
way. Arsenal can be competing in Premier League and Champions League with this squad that they have right now. It's impossible. And injuries always kicking in. Xhaka always getting red card. Marcel, stop purging your conscience, bro. Like, honestly,
Monchi,
what happened?
Monchi,
All right,
Monchi.
Selo, respond in 30 seconds and we close the show. We can continue on Thursday because we overtime.
You can hear me? Yeah, can you hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Monchi, Arsenal
Yeah,
are
go ahead.
ton of man pan loan. Arsenal are ton of man pan loan, Monchi. Ton of man pan loan, Monchi. That can come and fit in, Monchi. Monchi, me just ask you, take Hugo Lloris, Harry Kane, and Sam out to that Tottenham team there and have a fully fit Arsenal team and tell me that Tottenham team the better Arsenal team, man for man. Tell me that Tottenham team the better Arsenal team, man for man. Take Harry Kane song and Hugo Lloris out the team and tell me man for man if a fit Arsenal team with man for man who are the better team. If you take them 3 man, the Tottenham team.
Okay, that.
And the rest man, are good.
Unfair, though.
Okay. Let me just make it. So you're being unfair because that's Spurs backbone. What about if we take?
Me not being unfair because of what you say. Me only because of what you say. You say put the Arsenal team and the Tottenham team in the Champions League. The Tottenham team again better.
Guys, okay, we have to close. We have to close. Monchi, come back on Thursday. The season is done. I apologize to you.
I've one big.
No, wait, leave it. Make sure you write it down. Write it down.
I'm not writing
Write it down.
Yeah, I was ready to get
Write
it there.
it down, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. All those who commented. What you say?
I have a closing. When you finish, it's not pertaining to Cello though.
Oh no, I have a video to play, guys. I have a video to play. I almost forgot.
And with
Yeah,
that note,
that's why.
good night.
Fit in one, man.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.